How to communicate with your girlfriend. Hi everyone, I'm Apollonia Ponti. I am your dating and relationship coach, founder of ApolloniaPonti.com. This video is tailored to you, the man that is in a relationship and is probably having problems either communicating with his girlfriend or has encountered issues in your relationship that you are trying to communicate effectively now and trying to solve some of the problems that you're going through in your relationship right now. So the key, before I give you some tips on how to be an effective communicator with women in general, and I'll do a bunch of videos like this because I know you guys are asking for this, is the number one thing here, and I want to be clear about this, is we have to understand that this woman is being respectful to you. And it sucks that I even have to say something like this, but I see it so often in sometimes coaching sessions, comments, stories that I hear. But the case is here is if a woman is either negatively impacting you, let's say she's verbally abusing you or talking down to you or which is disrespecting you, any type of disrespect doesn't mean that you have to be a better communicator because she continues to disrespect you. And same as vice versa, respect the woman that you're with, right? So if something like that is happening, I'm not telling you in this video, if this woman respects you, you have to be a better communicator. What I'm telling you is if this woman disrespects you, take some time, walk away from the situation, maybe for a little bit, maybe for a couple weeks, or maybe for a month, depending on your situation. Once you do this, reanalyze the reasons of why you love this woman and why you're willing to tolerate this disrespect, especially if you guys are here because of something that she had did or something has been influenced in the relationship, even if you did something as far as you're looking for forgiveness. There has to be a common ground between the two of you when it comes to mutual respect. If the both of you are looking to mend the relationship, heal the relationship, or forgive one another. So now that I get that out of the way, I want to talk about, for you men, give you tips on how to be a better communicator with a woman that you're in a relationship with. Typically, these women are saying, you don't open up to me emotionally. I wish you communicated this to me more. I wish you were able to talk to me better. Or you're just trying to fix things in the relationship and you feel like you're hitting a wall. So tip number one is, I say this so much, and this is valuable information because I say it in my coaching sessions, is one of the tips that I give my men is you have to come from the why, the what, and always think about the W's, right? So when you're trying to effectively communicate, the only way that you can really effectively communicate is by curiosity questions. And this is alluding to relationships. And if you guys have followed me for a while, you know when I talk about dating and finding a good woman, it comes to curiosity questions. Get good at asking curiosity questions. So how do curiosity questions start? Well, they start with the what, the why, the when, right? Those are all curiosity questions. But what we are impacted to do as humans, sometimes depending on how we're raised and maybe what we weren't taught, is we attack, right? We come from the I, and the you. Only if you knew this, you could have done this better. Only if you could understand, I would be better. If I had this, then I would be happy, right? Sound familiar? So we attack and attack and attack, but instead of figuring out the why. So why are you unhappy? Please tell me. How can we fix this together? And then that leads me to the second tip, is number two, is understand that everything is valuable in your relationship. And it's about a partnership. Yeah, you guys are two separate human beings and you always have to be driven on something in your life, your purpose, your values, and hold yourself accountable. And that comes from loving yourself. But number two is, in a relationship, it's about a partnership. It's about the we, and it's not always about the I. It's about how can we compromise and make this better. So understanding that number two tip is about a partnership, but also about compromise and making things better in your relationship. So how do you get there? By following my tip that I'm telling you in tip number one. Tip number three is relationships are moments of self-exploration, let's be honest, because we learn a lot and we find out a lot about ourselves, and we're constantly growing in relationships, and that's why communication is so vital in relationships. And I speak from this from my own experience. I mean, my partner and I have been together for a while and we've worked at what we've had. But at the same time, the thing that we don't forget about is the level of mutual respect that we have for one another. I respect him and he respects me. So this is what I'm talking about in tip number 3 is Understanding your emotions. You might be two different people. Me, let's just say, for example, I am the type of person that just likes to think things out, right? I process differently. I like to think things out, and I just want to know really what is the best option, right? Let's just say that I want to make this I just want to understand it more, and I just need time to think. So maybe I can be like this, and then my partner can basically be this person that just wants to solve it right away because it eats him up, and he wants to just react. I'm not saying that this is it, but I'm just giving you an example, okay? So if you two are different in this way, you have to understand that you can't put expectations on your partner to be the exact version of you. So problem-solving skills in the relationship can be really difficult if you don't know your partner, right? So getting clear on how your partner is when it comes to their problem-solving skills. When they get angry, do they turn around and walk away and then have to sit and then come back and talk to you? Do they take their time, or do they want to solve it right away? Understanding that, like I said in tip number 2, there needs to be compromise. So understanding your partner's problem-solving skills is huge, which leads me into tip number 4 about this. Tip number 4 is also, you gotta, before you react, a lot of times in relationships, we say things. And remember, words you cannot take back. Actions is the biggest driver and biggest convincer and biggest clarity, whatever you want to call it, in a relationship. It gives clarity to one another so one can feel as though there is change happening. And why I say this is because a lot of times when we're in this heated argument with our partner, we react, right? We say, what do you mean? And we come from a place from our throat of anger, instead of just taking a moment and pausing and letting it come from your heart. Right? So we react and say, what do you mean? I have been doing everything I want, blah, 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 blah. But you always want this and this and this, and I'm always doing this. And you just can go on because you're not thinking. You're reacting off of the adrenaline that's coming out of your body. Instead, keep that adrenaline in, take some deep breaths, go for a walk, choose whatever is going to help you. Once you do this, it's really important that you then understand that the both of you are really just ultimately fighting for the same thing. Which concludes this video, is a lot of times in relationships, we're fighting because we love each other. We're fighting because we want things better. But all we do is we tend to attack. And when we're in relationships, it's so important to understand the foundational things that brought you guys together. So typically, arguments can happen when your values aren't aligned, the boundaries were never discussed. Maybe you are with a toxic individual. Maybe you had some things in your life come up that you couldn't control and had changed the balance of you as a person, which is okay. And that's why communication is so important in relationships in general. Today, tomorrow, forever, no matter how long you are together. And now before I end this video, for the men that have trouble communicating, my biggest tip for you, because I work with so many of you, is to really ask the curiosity questions that I'm saying in tip number 1. This is going to help you understand your partner better, and women want to feel like they're heard, just like you men want to feel like they're heard. Same thing. And this is what's going to help you get more clarity in how to approach your girlfriend moving forward. If you liked today's video, please give it a thumbs up. And I have something for you. I really invite you, if you're having relationship problems right now, to either book a coaching session with me or go to my website, which I'll put the link in the description box, and download the 35 Rules to Save Your Relationship. This is an amazing book that I put together for you guys, and I hope you enjoy it. As always, I look forward to your comments. Give me a thumbs up if you enjoyed this video. And as always, you are always loved. Bye for now.